Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to WWTA News. That's what we talk about news. Welcome back. Yeah. All right. So, you know what it is. It's time for us to go through some news and talk about a few things. Some interesting things are going on in the news as far as cryptocurrency right now. We're going to jump into it. I got a few good articles to check out. But before we do, if you have not already, could you hit that like button? I greatly appreciate it. And as always, if you have any family, friends, or loved ones who you think could use any of this information, feel free to send them a link to the video so that they too have the opportunities that you have to make awesome moves for your future. All right, now let's push on through that and let's start dealing with these articles. So, our first article here says Anchorage Digital announces Ethereum staking for institutions. Institutions. There's going to be a common theme with these articles today, and as I was going through them, I was like, "Wow, this is interesting." You know, you're running the retail market out of the space, right? A lot of people that took loans to get into this space that didn't pay those loans off. They're in pretty bad positions right now, and they're kind of in a position where they've got to liquidate at these stupidly low prices. Institutions, like, are we paving the way, push out the little guy so the institution can make their moves? I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. You guys think about it. Put in the comments what you think about it. But it kind of looks to me like some heavy arm, get out the way, Institutions Day. You know what I'm saying? So there was a tweet on that. It said institutions can now stake ETH with Anchorage. Learn what institutions need to know about the ETH upgrades, why they should take ETH, and how they can collect rewards through Anchorage, right? This is just... So it says, by paving the way for institutions to stake their Ethereum. By paving the way for institutions to stake their Ethereum, we're providing heightened legitimacy to market-tested assets and in the process eliminating any hot wallet risks for institutions looking to generate new earnings from crypto. Diogo Monica, co-founder and president of Anchorage Digital, said in a statement. That's a lie. What this guy just said was, look, I know you institutions have been teetering and tiding like, oh, man, I want to get in, but it's like, I don't want to risk this money, you know what I'm saying? And, well, you're going to be protected, obviously. Institutions, they're going to have to pave the way. The retail market made, the world look seriously at the blockchain and crypto space, and now the institutions need to know that they're going to be safe as they get in this space. So the major point here is the institutions are coming into this space. You're looking at it right now. Now, I know those numbers are red and ugly. Like, oh my God, these numbers are so low. Yes, that's paving the way for institutions. So, and I'll take us back just a little bit. Think about 2020, what you were holding in 2020 at the end of 2020. When 2020 was closed, now think about your value that you were holding. And then think about January, February, March, April, May of 2021. What happened to your value when the retail market really stepped in there and started making moves? And it wasn't anything. The market cap was low in comparison to the actual amount of value and money that's in the world today. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, just think about that increase that you saw from retail at the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021. Now, while that's in your mind, think about your value. Think about your numbers. Think about what your numbers were looking like. Now that that's in your mind, I want you to visualize institutions doing what the retail market tried to do. Go in there like crazy and get ahead of this thing. Institutions have a money that we don't understand or appreciate. They have big money. You know what I'm saying? And so I potentially see the fact that all these news articles are showing us institution. I'm starting to see that they're going to take this space and this value multiple times higher than what the retail showed us. Okay, so expect, in my personal opinion, my thoughts and ideas, I could be wrong, but I'm expecting, based on all these news articles, we're going to see some crazy things happen with that value. I mean, I'm talking about high value. I'm suspecting it. It just seems like it, based on all these articles, that we're looking for something. If we can just hold tight and just make it through the storm, I think stuff gonna look real good for us. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna look real good. All right, let's continue. It says the idea is that Anchorage Digital will keep funds safe for institutions, including banks, venture capital firms, and even governments. By holding their crypto in cold storage, this is when a digital asset is held offline as opposed to hot storage when it's held on an online wallet. It's the same thing as a bank, but we're going to do it bigger and better because it's going to be digital. So, that's where we're going. That's where we're going, okay? The governments are already telling you that they want to deal in central bank digital currencies. We have stable coins that operate similar. Okay, they're telling you. We've got governments that move stable coins and pay for things from other nations and countries in stable coins, right? They're using this technology. So here, clearly, it's written all over the wall. You really don't need me to share my thoughts at this point. You're seeing what they're saying, all right? We've got an article here that says Argentina's customs office seizes 21 million in crypto mining equipment. Goodness gracious. Seized. That's right. It's mine. I'm taking it. Oh no. It's mine. I'm taking it. This article says Argentina's customs office seized 2,233 crypto mining rigs that it claims were improperly invoiced at about 5 million more than their actual value. Oh, somebody was cheating, huh? The seizure occurred amid a shortage of foreign reserves on the balance sheet of the Argentine Central Bank. Now, what do we know central banks are trying to do? That's right. Is it making sense yet? So it says, which helped lead to a further tightening of import controls by the government this week. Wow, right? I look at this stuff and I think to myself, they let the retail market do so many things to get all this stuff taken off and taken flight, make it work. And then they come in and do something like confiscate under the guise of laws and practices. So it's just amazing how these countries are coming into crypto, which is the new economic system, how they're abundantly coming into it. And, it's amazing. It's amazing. But let's continue. Looking to secure hard American dollars and taking advantage of subsidized residential energy rates, it was previously reported that many Argentines have been mining cryptocurrencies in their homes. That's right, the retailers. They wanted to finally make money. They saw the potential in crypto. They took loans out. They got these mining rigs. They started mining and making this Bitcoin and Ethereum and other different currencies out there. There was no real regulation on it, and the governments knew this. Was this all a part of their plan? I don't know. So essentially, it's like, good job. You proved that it works. You made some money. I want that equipment. I need that in my life, and I appreciate you for going out there and securing it. But I need that in my life, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to take that from you. All right. You cool with that? You going to be all right? Because I'm going to take it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it just seems like it's a fishy story. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wow. It's convenient. Right? All right. We got another article here. It says, New York Community Bank to hold assets backing circles USDC. Community Bank, right? These institutions are just pushing their way in. New York Community Bank, a New York state-based community bank that also has branches in New Jersey, Florida, and Ohio, will serve as a custodian for some of the reserve assets behind the USD coin, USDC stablecoin. Circle, USDC issuer, said Tuesday. The two companies will also work on low-cost financial solutions for underserved and unbanked communities, according to a statement. The partnership is part of Circle's push to include underrepresented financial institutions in the digital asset market and allocate a share of its reserves in minority-owned depository institutions. Right. So, I mean, there's a lot to be said. This is a lot going on. It's a lot that they literally said in just these short statements. I mean, so all right, let's take it one step at a time. So banks are being custodians for stablecoins, right? And we know stablecoins essentially can act like central bank digital coins. Central banks just want to have a little more control over how many gets minted, obviously, so they can better control it. So with a stablecoin, we know it's going to hold that value stably. Hence the name, stable coin, right? So for a dollar, it gets that 1-to-1, which means you're around 98 cents, 94 cents, 97 cents back and forth, holding that value of the dollar. So you're stable when you want to hold your money somewhere or take it out of something, turn it into that stable so it holds its value. You ain't got to worry about the markets going up and down, right? That's the first thing. We know that it was early this year, last year, that the government was making it legal for banks to custody cryptocurrencies, yada, yada, yada. So clearly, that's the first thing that they're letting us know here is that that's happening. Then there's some story behind the story. From what I'm seeing is that they're definitely trying to bring the unbanked, and this starts to move more into the United Nations goal. Some of the goals that are talked about outside of the United States and globally as a whole. That's why we see so many things happening in Africa right now. So what they're saying is that there is a lack of representation for low-income communities, clearly that don't understand the banking system, that aren't a part of the banking system. And so I'll say this because it's fact. It's a lot of people in the quote unquote colored community of the United States that are not banking or using banks to a degree or understand fully what's transpiring through banks, because it's hard to trust an entity to hold your value, right? So it's like, oh, you want me to let them hold this and be in control of this, even though it's mine? They're gonna hold it. Well, it's like, well, 9/10 of the law is possession, right? So for a lot of people, it's hard to just let a bank hold everything, even though you're going to be using what's in there at your discretion, But a lot of people also find out bank runs, bank locks you out, bank tells you, even this very day, you have a limit of what you can pull out of an ATM, right? Your bank will tell you that you can only pull out $500 a day, just like ATMs, they'll have, you can pull out so much a day. Well, I don't know if ATMs really have a limit. I guess their limit is when they ain't got no money. But with banks, they have a limit, like how much money you can pull out within a day. And then you have to go into a bank. If there's a brick building, a lot of times banks are just online. You'll have to go directly into the bank and do a withdrawal. Yeah, that lets you know, just like certain people would say, 9/10 of the law is possession. Well, you want me to put everything into this bank and let them hold it, and then they can then dictate how much I can withdraw at any given time. This is crazy, right? It's just some crazy thinking. So clearly, when you look at this, we can see that there are people that are not involved in this space, and then they're using this as a way to bring those people into the space. Now, here is the difference, in my personal opinion, how I understand things. With cryptocurrency, if you have it in your wallet, you can move it whenever you please. Can't nobody tell you how much you can have and how much you can't have. You know what I'm saying? So this is more or less, in a sense, making banking in a new form, in using institutions trying to keep their power, I would assume. It looks like they're trying to keep their power to continue to run this business model that they run, which means look for charges because they got to get paid. That's why they operate. That's why they the middleman, and that's why they don't want you to bank yourself. So crazy, all the things happening inside this story that I'm noticing. It's like there's always something behind the scenes going on versus what you can see directly. It's like, but you can't trust people, right? Yeah. All right, let's continue. We got an article here. SBI CEO, every bank in Japan will use Ripple's XRP by 2025. Well, I don't know how true that is, but let's check out the article. It's at the time, Kitao prospected on the utility of XRP, saying, and this is Kitao saying, the use of XRapid using XRP is getting widespread, and the number of companies participating in Ripple nets is increasing substantially. Therefore, in such a meaning, it seems that the use of Ripple's technology will gradually become used in the form of using XRP in the international money transfer field. Virtual currency is tough unless there is real demand, but we believe firm, real demand will come out from now on. And there's truth to that. There is a demand for cryptocurrency. There's a high demand for it because it really just changes. It levels the playing field. It takes the middleman out of the equation. It brings value to poor communities or lesser communities that don't have, and it brings them up to the standard with everyone else. So there is major use. So that's going to bring the demand. The demand is here now. We haven't seen a crazy shoot in the increase of demand because people are still using their daily currencies as they go through, and all countries seem to be going through this, as they go through this devaluing of their native currency and the inflation of their markets, right, of their financial markets. So it's like, oh, it's a coming, and somebody can definitely see it. Mr. Kitao can definitely see it, right? So I would definitely be keep my eyes on this. Now, I'm not sure that every bank's going to use Ripple. It's possible, but this could be why we see these major things happening with the SEC and Ripple as a company, because maybe they want to make sure that if they're going to let the world use this technology, which works so well, they don't want nobody screwing these companies, institutions, countries, banks out of any of their value. All right, so that's interesting. Interesting story indeed. Another story here. South Africa is introducing a new banking payment system this year. Again, right, Africa is a major user of this technology, right? But let's get this article. The South African Reserve Bank is working on a new rapid payments program, RPP, which is set to significantly shake up payments in South Africa. The program, which is mentioned in the central bank's 2022 annual report, forms part of the SARB's Vision 2025 plan as an industry-led payments modernization initiative. That's right. The system is changing, and we're watching it happen right before our eyes. That's why we're going to see more and more countries come on board. So to Mr. Kitao's statement, it's highly possible that you do see XRP in a lot of banks going into 2025. I mean, wow. The potential is great. But let's continue. This RPP, when fully implemented, will offer a cost-effective instant payment service across banks, a proxy service to embed user banking details, a request to pay service, as well as support for several known retail payment use cases, the Reserve Bank said. So again, in all these other countries, they need fair, they need effective, efficient, and reliable. So it's like, you know, this RPP, right? This reserve bank said this is going to really play a major role in what's happening in Africa, right? Quote, the payment industry under the leadership of the Payments Association of South Africa and Banks Services of Africa has developed the legal construct, namely the formation of the Payment Clearinghouse and the establishment of the RPP scheme. So they've already made this happen. They've basically, this stuff is adopted. Clearly, we've seen that. Okay, we saw the clip where Africa, the boy in Africa, a young man in Africa, male in Africa, was using the Lightning Network, Bitcoin's Lightning Network, to make a payment for something he needed at a store. And we saw that they were letting us know, look, it's not a game. This is what's going on. Don't sleep. So, to continue, it says the SARB noted that Bank Services Africa is working with several bank participants to build the technology solution that forms the backbone of the RPP solution. It is currently in the testing phase with its implementation planned for the second half of 2022. So they're running it. They're going to fully implement it, apparently, second half of 2022. So it says, speaking to Tech Central, Bank Service Africa Chief Executive Jan Pilbar said the new system means customers will soon not need a bank account number or a branch code to transfer money. This is clearly just cryptocurrency. This is what this is. We saw El Salvador, right? They started using this tech. Everybody was scared and nervous, blah, blah. But then, boom, it worked, right? And we're like, okay. Then Venezuela and Colombia looking over like, yo, it's working over there. Maybe we need to jump in too, right? So clearly, all the countries had to view this. And Africa is going deep in the paint. We know that they just struck it big with the gold reserves. They have the value. They have stuff to back their currency if they so choose to make their own central bank currency based on their value of gold. That'd be amazing. But them setting up these networks and everything to run, it just lets us know it's happening, right? It's institutional happening. All right. It says instead they'll be able to use a cell phone number or any other piece of personally identifiable information to make a payment to someone else. He added that the system should allow users to transfer money through instant messaging apps, including Meta-owned services like WhatsApp. When we go live later this year, if I want to send you money, you'll just have to know my cell phone number or another alias, he said. So that's because you're using an app, which means you can do these things over the computer or as well on a Android device or Apple device, iPad, so on and so forth, as well as using your phone, using your phone number. We are literally talking Lightning Network. We could possibly even, speculating here, we could possibly be talking about Stellar Lumens. We could be talking about XRP. All these different networks, blockchains, have the potential to be ran in this country, Africa, this continent, Africa, through these many countries that exist there. We see the potential for all this. So the institutions are in, governments are in, nations are in. Why are the numbers still low? Your guess is as good as mine, but don't think it's going to sit there. This is crazy, and to see all this stuff happening lets me know this is set. It's etched in stone. It's not going anywhere. If you are not a part of it, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. But if you are not a part of this, you might want to really get in here. Get in here and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. Oh, they're trying to run people out the market. Institutions, governments, nations, countries, they're not going anywhere. You're not running them out because they're using the tech. All these articles are showing you institutions, governments, nations, countries, banks, businesses, corporations. They're all using this and they want you out. Are you serious? Are you serious? Could speculation, could this inflation be created for the purpose of, I'm going to drop the mic right there. Y'all think about that. I don't know. That's speculation. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that out there. Y'all do what y'all want to do with that. If you got any comments, post them down below. If you have not already hit that like button, go and hit that like button. Come back and visit us again for another episode. If you got any family, friends, or loved ones who could use this information, some inspiration to get into this space, send this on out to them. Everybody do what you got to do for your future, for your family, friends, and loved ones, and make these moves. I will catch you all in the next episode.